Hey, what's up, guys? Coach Mob here, QBTD. I just wanted to do a quick webinar. I wouldn't say quick, but I do want to get into detail a little bit more on the importance of base, balance, rhythm, and timing. Now, I call those the four pillars of passing, okay? I used to call them the four pillars of quarterbacking, but, with a little bit of insight and understanding, you can see where it's not quite all it takes to be a quarterback. But to throw a football correctly, yeah, base, balance, rhythm, and timing. Those are the four pillars. Those are the foundation, on the foundation of which will be you, the quarterback. So let's talk a little bit more about the importance of base. So I've been coaching for a good amount of years now, and I've seen a lot of different skill levels of quarterbacks come through, and I've trained a lot of different skill levels of quarterbacks. And one thing that easily sets quarterbacks apart, the skilled from the skillfully challengers, I guess you'd say, or less skilled. But the point is, what separates them apart is that some have attention to detail and are willing to focus on that attention to detail every play. Some quarterbacks can figure that out, and they'll use it for a rep or two, but it won't be who they are as a quarterback. And the whole point is trying to be consistent from your start point to your finish point of what you do in your passing technique, okay? So when it comes to base, you have to have a nice, good wide stance. I'd say about shoulder width apart. I have plenty of videos showing you how to do that, but right now I just want to talk about it. I want to get into your head the importance and the why of things, because I can show you reps and I can do the good base stance and have my hands in, elbows in, you know what I'm saying, all that good stuff. But sometimes you have to be able to just hear the why of it and understand, because sometimes you're not always going to get reps. You might be the backup quarterbacks. Our backup quarterback, the visual rep is important in our sport, in our position especially. You got to take advantage of every little thing you can do right to be the guy, okay? So it all starts with base, okay? We have to have a good wide base. With that wide base, it'll allow us to be able to be prepared for a snap that's not coming directly right here, okay? In a perfect world, that snap's going to come in right here. We know it, right? But that rarely happens. And I'm not even going to say rarely, but when it does go wrong, we want to be prepared, okay? I'm seeing a lot of this 7-on-7 base where the quarterback's feet are, this close to each other, and they're looking like they're standing nonchalant. And it's frustrating as a quarterback coach because I don't teach it. And it's like my pet peeve. And I will get on any quarterback. I'll go on Instagram and I'll see a quarterback throw a dot, but his base is trash. And I'm just like, what do we do? I don't want to be, mean about it, but I chose to be a quarterback coach, and I do my research and I try to find out what's the most up-to-date way, on the most efficient way on how to get the job done. And having a good base never changed. You always need to be prepared for a wild snap. You want to be in a reactionary position. I like to think of it as when you see two guys going up for a jump ball in basketball and the tip-off. It's like that type of readiness, that type of reactionary stance, that's quarterbacking dang near. You got to be able to catch a snap that's going to go off to the right, off to the left, high or low. You know what I'm saying? Just being prepared. You can see that right off the rip. When a quarterback has a good base, he's prepared for anything. If I see a quarterback nonchalant, I'm like, oh, you better hope he has a good snap, because if that snap is anything but perfect, well, we're looking at a ball on the ground and a quarterback scrambling for a ball that he wouldn't have had to if he was just a little bit more prepared, just put a little bit of that why into his game, right? And understood the reason of why it's important to have a good base, okay? So yeah, not only in a shotgun position, but even still when you're under center, having a good under center base is important too, because for the for every single time you're getting away from that line, and if it's a pass play, you got linemen who are kick stepping, that's backing up. They're losing ground as you start right under the center. So you have to have a good reactionary base, a good explosive base to be able to get back and away from that line of scrimmage and from opposing defenders who are trying to get through that line and who may get in free. So having a good base, starting under control is half the battle. But that's something that you can do. It's a choice. It's a choice. It's just like when I tell my quarterbacks, watch the sour face. I see a lot of fake quarterbacking out there, fake pressure. Now it's good to, create those scenarios in your head, but it shouldn't be every play. You shouldn't practice like you're under ultimate extreme pressure every play, because you want to be able to be calm in those storms, okay? Even if there is extreme pressure, you don't have to be like, sometimes you can drop back and have that confidence in your face and that control of, no matter what happens, I'm going to get the job done. You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens, I'm going to choose to have this poise in my face, win, lose, or draw. You know what I'm saying? This is something that we have as quarterbacks. It's a superpower I tell all my quarterbacks to use. All right? Don't let talk affect you. Do it with your actions, all right? Start with the good base every time. Show that you can see a prepared quarterback based off how he starts, based off how he prepares, based off his eyes, based off his base. You know what I'm saying? I can see it right off the rip. I've been doing this for years, and it's something that any good recruit, any good quarterback coach, any good quarterback is going to understand, that this is what it's supposed to look like, and if it doesn't look like this, it's not looking right. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the first pillar, which is base. If I missed any parts, I'll try to skim back over that in a bit, but all these pillars, base, balance, rhythm, and timing, they're in order for a reason. They flow into each other. We're trying to move from one base, from our pre-snap base, where we're taking a shotgun base. We're trying to move from that base to this base, balanced. Okay, so base, balance, rhythm, timing. All right, let's go into balance and the importance of balance. I mean, balance is interchangeable with the word control, so is rhythm, but with balance, it takes the ability to just move under control. It's telling your body to do something, and it does that thing. And again, that goes right hand in hand with rhythm. They literally, balance and rhythm, they are two different things, but you can't have one without the other. You need them both, okay? So yeah, again, the importance of balance, just being able to have stability in your movements, to have core stability. Really, that's balance. A lot of our movements are rotational. Okay, we're moving on a platform where we're only going to get our best throws off of a good platform, and a good platform is we're balanced. We got both feet in the ground, and we're able to push off with control. Now, to be able to do that, it takes intention. All right, you got to practice at having good balance. It's not something that comes easy. A lot of our movements are quad loaded. Okay, these quad loaded movements are going to help you stay efficient at quarterback and move with intention. Okay, if you just really think about it, we have to be really reactionary. I'd say, I'd like to think of, when you think of upper body and lower body, throwing or quarterbacking in general, I'd say is about 70 to 75% lower body, 25 to 30% upper body. Like, throwing is important, but it doesn't matter if you can't even get to the spot where you're supposed to be throwing it from, or to get the ball out on time with rhythm, right? Balanced. So none of that even matters if your lower body can't handle the task of what it takes to get the ball to your receiver, which is, having a good base, getting back balanced, and getting that ball out on time. But balance can't be understated. It's just one of those things where I couldn't leave it out of the pillars because you have to have balance, and it's like two sides of a coin. It's like the divine dichotomy. There's this and then there's that, and there can't be that without this. You need to have balance. You know what I'm saying? Just the importance of being able to move and have control, and not only balance on the field, but balance in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to stay controlled. You're playing the hardest position in sports. Okay, you have to be mentally balanced. You're not going to complete every pass. You go 6 for 10, that's a great day. You go 5 for 10, some people look at it like it's a bad day, and that's only one pass difference. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be in control of how you react, how people make you react. You have to be the energy that comes out. The balance and the passion needs to come from you. You can't take it in from other people. I mean, you can, but again, if you do that, it could affect how you're giving it back out. Okay, but just try to stay in control. Again, balanced. I don't want to say calm, because to be calm in the storm it's a great ability to have at quarterback, but even it's like the calm on the exterior doesn't really take away from the fire that's going on in the interior. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though you can be calm on the outside, you can have your quad still loaded and you can still be reactionary. Okay. And with that, we'll go like right into rhythm. Okay. Balance and rhythm go hand in hand. At quarterback, you want to move with the flow. I like to think of everything we do at quarterback as a choreographed movement. All right. That's literally, it's moving with a plan. It's like a dance. You know what I'm saying? It's like a planned dance move. We have planned footwork for dang near everything. I'd pretty much say everything. We have planned escape footwork. Like, we have different ways to do different things, because for the most part, the game doesn't really change up too much. What you see is what you get. Cover two is cover two. You might get a little bit of roll action and, disguising of defenses, but it's still cover two. You know what I'm saying? And if you learn the different ways, then you'll be able to be in rhythm and be in control through those different ways. Okay, but yeah, the importance of rhythm can't be understated either, because again, it goes hand in hand with timing. If you have to get the ball out in a certain time, you have to be able to move back in rhythm to get that ball out. You know what I'm saying? Back to the choreographed footwork, simply like a 3-step drop on time. It takes rhythm, it takes balance, and it takes control to tell your body, I'm going back 3 steps, and on my 3rd step, I'm pushing forward. You're taking your momentum back, forward. And you think it's easy, but when you have a whole array of linemen maybe blocking, missing blocks, receivers running routes, getting pushed off, maybe getting jammed on the line, and you have to navigate this whole scenario and get the ball out in under about 3.5 seconds, it's going to take a little bit of rhythm. You're going to have to start to kind of get into the flow of things and start to trust receivers and start to trust the game, because again, the game is the game. There's a dance. There's a rhythm. If you play the game, and if you understand the game, and if you take the time and put your passion and your love into trying to figure out what this game truly is, you'll understand, like, oh, okay, I get it. I do see that, oh, this is this and that is that. And there's different ways to disguise it, but once you learn those different ways, you'll see, like, okay, if I got cover 3, that's one high safety with my corners dropping into the thirds, right? If we see 2 high safeties and 2 low corners, and right off the rip we see a roll down and then those guys drop, we're like, okay, it's still cover 3. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's different ways they can get into it, but once you're able to flow and find the rhythm of the game, it just slows the game down. You know what I'm saying? So I always say start with so there's rhythm, right? But you can start with a slower tempo, and we could always speed up the tempo. Okay, we got the rhythm, and then once we got the rhythm, we could speed up the tempo. You know what I'm saying? And then we could slow it back down if we had to. But that goes with our drop. That goes with any movements we do at quarterback. Okay, so if we're dropping back and you're not understanding how to get out on time exactly, start slow, and then as you get that rhythm, you can speed up the tempo, and that's how we improve as quarterbacks. But again, when it comes to getting the ball out on time, when it comes to getting your depth and understanding what your depth is, you cannot understate the importance of rhythm. I've been really trying to focus on these four pillars and how exactly they need to be worded. And I do love the fact that you can't really explain one without the other, because that's how it is. It should be a flow. It should flow into the next, okay? Quarterbacking, I like to think of it like dang near karate. There's like levels to this, man. You can see there's black belt quarterbacks, and you can see the brown belts, and you can see that some brown belts have skills that black belts might not have, and they utilize it a certain way. But when you have to put the total package together and play the game, that's what's going to level you up. That's where we're going to be able to see where you're at. You might have a cannon of an arm, you might have a really strong arm, you might be really fast, but if you aren't super accurate, or if you can't run, or if you don't have good footwork to escape the pocket and you can't put it all together, hey, we're looking for that ultimate quarterback, right? We're trying to build that ultimate quarterback. The game's evolving, and it's getting faster. It's getting a little smaller, you know what I'm saying? But hey, it doesn't really matter. We're playing, and if we're here, we're in it to win it. So with that being said, you gotta get in tune with the game. Find your rhythm, find the flow of the game, and be like water when it comes to quarterbacking. All right, and then with that, we'll go right into timing. Now, timing is possibly, well, I mean, nothing's more important than the other, but when it comes to timing, you can have all those things, base, balance, and rhythm, but if you don't come out on time, it's all for naught. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's the icing on the cake, okay? To be able to get the job done completely is to have timing. Receivers are running 4 steps out, or 4-step outs, 5-step outs. Sometimes they go by yardage, sometimes they go by the amount of steps, sometimes they even go by getting to spots on the field. But at the end of the day, when it comes to being in control, you have to have good timing, okay? Being able to get that ball out to your receiver when it's time to get that ball out to your receiver without putting him into a dangerous position is having good timing, all right? Hitting a slant off the break. One thing and one note that I'll tell any quarterback, and I hope you guys really, really get this. If your receiver sees you throw them the ball, you probably are a little late, all right? If a receiver sticks a slant route, I want him to look to a ball in flight. That is the ultimate goal in that scenario, on any scenario, unless it's like you're second windowing a dig, or you find yourself under pressure. Comebacks, fade balls, freaking post routes. I mean, anticipation and timing. Oh my gosh, that is real quarterbacking. Being able to understand the game. I've seen plenty of quarterbacks with amazing arms. They can put balls in spots that are like amazing, throw beautiful spirals, but can't do it with anticipation. And if you can't do it with anticipation, and you can do it in like 1-on-1 or 7-on-7 scenarios, hey, that's impressive. But when the game's moving faster, when you got 11 guys coming at you or doing their job, that stuff doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter if you have a strong arm, but you have to be able to anticipate and have timing and understand the game. That's understanding defenses. When you understand defensive players' jobs, you'll understand windows. And when you understand windows, and you understand timing and where you need to get the ball out. And if you understand how leverage is, you'll understand where you need to place the ball. But all those things require timing. You have to know when. You have to know when it's time to throw the ball, when it's time for that receiver to get his eyes around, when it's time to get that back foot in the ground, when it's time to take a slide step instead of a quick feet flip or a 3-step on time. Timing cannot be understated, and none of these can, okay? But that's just me trying to really dig in and try to let you guys understand the importance of bass, balance, rhythm, and timing, okay? I love this game, y'all. I love quarterbacking. I love the position. If you want this, I'll give you the tools. I will help you. I will go out and I will reach out to the people. If I don't know the answer, I'll find it. That's what I'm doing in this lifetime. I will lead. I will lead by example. I will lead on and off the field. If you'll give me that trust, I will get you right, okay? I will get us right. This is Coach Mob with QBTD, and I'm out of here. That's bass, balance, rhythm, and timing for you.